So maybe this is a good topic. We want to get a lot of people on the podcast, real estate professionals and entrepreneurs. And here we've got Kail, who has been doing real estate for almost a decade and has trouble doing anything recording information about what she does. And the irony of it is that she's done, tons of transactions, over 100, talked to over thousands of clients, and cannot seem to answer basic real estate questions that she answers every single day when there's a camera on.
I don't know what it is. I'm like, I question myself why I just cannot. Like, I feel like I forget everything.
Yeah. What are you afraid of?
Maybe people judging me.
People judging you. Isn't that what we're all afraid of? Just being judged?
Yes, because we do the same.
Is that right?
I mean, don't you look at videos and you kind of judge people like oh, they should have done that, or why do they look like this? I don't know. Don't we? I mean,
Sure.
Not like-
I think we're all judging
like,
from time to
exactly.
time, but
I think everyone judges everyone. So
I judge the people that can't get out there and do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that I say something maybe that I shouldn't have said, or I don't know. It's just I have a lot of questions going through my mind while doing a recording.
Mm.
Although recording will be better because you can cut shit out, I guess.
What if someone did judge it? Does it really matter?
I mean, in the end, it shouldn't, because I think what I think, and maybe I just don't trust. I don't know.
Well, let's get to the heart of it. Like, why are we, getting on camera and recording stuff and doing all of this? Like, what's the why behind it?
While we are recording.
Yeah, why do you want to do it? I mean, at the end of the day, what do you, if you
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you don't want to do it, then why are you doing it?
Because that's what the community tells me to do.
Why?
Everyone wants to see you and your natural, I want to say habitat, but everyone wants to see what you do and how you do it so they can judge you in the end and decide if they want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean...
So is that the fear? You're afraid that someone's going to see you recording yourself and that they're going to decide that they don't want to work with you because they viewed your information and now they don't like you?
Possible.
Okay. But how is that but these are people that don't know you really already, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So it's giving you an opportunity to get in front of an audience that you don't know, with the possibility that they will feel somewhat of a connection to you and maybe work with you.
That's the other side of the, yeah.
Well, what's the side you're talking about?
So one side will be people who will look at me and listen to me and then decide not to work with me. But then the other side of the other people would probably do like me and reach out and like working with me, I guess.
Right. But the people who are, reviewing your information, these are people that probably don't know you, right?
Yeah, if it goes online, nobody knows me.
Yeah,
Yes.
so who cares if they don't like you, because it's not like they were going to do business with you to begin with.
That's true.
That's kind of the way I look at it, is nobody who's going to review anything that I'm doing online is going to go from like, oh, wow, Matt's amazing. I know him. I like him. I'm already working with him, to, wow, I saw that. I mean, unless I were to say something really messed up, it's like, oh, I saw that video. Now I don't want to have anything to do with him.
Mm.
And then I think if there's anything I say or do that, maybe comes across as scripted or not genuine, and somebody reviews it and is like, yeah, this guy doesn't seem like he and I would be a good fit. Well,
yeah,
it's not anybody I know, and if they never saw me, they would have never done business with me anyway.
that's a valid point.
So I just, I understand, one of the things that I always talk about, and early on in my career, and When I got into the mortgage industry, I was a telemarketer.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before the do not call list and everything along those lines. And, we could just call pretty much the phone book. And this is when you actually had to dial the phone instead of being put on a dialer. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the people that would come in and would do this job, they would always be like, hey, give me scripts. What do I say on the phone? And the funny thing was that, like, we weren't selling anything, right? We're 15-year-old. Well, there was more than, but I'm a 15-year-old kid, and all I had to do was call pretty much anyone on the list and ask them if they had an interest rate above or below a 7%.
Correct.
I mean, what
That's
kind
it.
of script do you need for that?
I mean, probably for the answers they'll give you.
There are no answers. The
So they
answer
just
to
say yes or
everything.
no.
Well, yeah, but if the answer was yes, it was great. We're going to have someone call you.
That's
And if
it.
anybody had a question on anything, the response is, that's a great question. We're going to have somebody call you and answer all your questions.
That's it.
Like, there's no script. And it was just funny watching people just like terrified to get on the phone. And I never understood it. It's like, you know how to use a phone, right? I'm like, yep. But like, what if they do this? What if they do that? And like, just the fear. I just,
Yeah.
it's silly. I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah,
And
but
I get it. You are not alone in this. And I'm glad we're recording this because I'm going to figure out a way to put it out and, get it in front of all of the people who are like, wow, look at that. Look at how cool it is. I wish I could go on a podcast, but I'm just fucking too scared. Like,
I know it is, and I guess in the end, you just have to do it. I'm doing it, and I'm pushing myself, and I'm gonna try it till till it's good enough, I guess. And
well, and again, it goes back to the like, well, why are you doing it? Right? Like, if you don't like it and if you don't like it, you're obviously doing it because you see some sort of benefit in it in the end.
I mean, I I I know you can reach way more people that way. You put content online, people gonna look, and especially the ones who you do connect with, um, they're gonna look you up too, and they want to see what you have to say. And especially in our business, I mean, we have a lot to say. We can talk about a lot of topics. So real estate is always changing, and we always have news
Mm-hmm.
for buyers and sellers, and we can talk about a lot of topics in real estate. And if we can put it out there for everyone to see, yeah,
Well, and it's not even like public speaking,
it
right?
is kind of public speaking.
No, it's
though.
not, because it's recorded and it can be edited, and you could record it and not even put it out. I mean, you go up and stand up in front of a room full of people and you have to give some sort of speech or educational piece. There's no taking that back.
That's true, yeah.
So like, maybe that's a better way to look at it. Like, I know public speaking is terrifying for a lot of people as well, but
Including me, yeah.
at the same time, what's interesting to me is I know people that seem to have a better time or an easier time publicly speaking than they do in getting in front of a camera. So maybe that's one way to think of it for people who are out there. If you've, done any kind of public speaking, even if it's in front of a small group of people, like a team, maybe you're a team lead on a real estate team. You've got 3 or 4 employees. Like, I know that's not really much of an audience, but you're definitely getting up in front of more than one person and, either educating or telling a story. So even that to me is more difficult, or makes more sense in terms of why someone would be afraid to do it, because there's no taking it back, where you can just record something and look at it and go, well, this kind of sucks, and just delete the video and no one knows about it but you.
That's true. Yeah. That's for recording like a couple of times before you feel like video is worth putting out. Makes sense
Right.
for practice. And
So what do you think it's going to take?
how many times? So what do you mean? Like, what's gonna take? I just have to do it. There's no other way.
Well, I think what I'm meaning by like what's it going to take is, one of the things that's surprising to me is, it's one thing to be afraid to get on camera, but it's another thing to like, is it the fear that is what is causing you to like forget even like what it is you do, and what it is that you offer clients and everything like that. Like,
Uh, It must be the fear because I don't know how else to explain that.
I mean, you don't get like this in front of clients.
No, because it's just one on one for me. It's like
Yeah, but this is zero, or this is 1-on-0. You're literally in front
that's
of a
true.
camera. I mean, right now you and I are 1-to-1, but like,
It's easier for me to explain or to talk to a client who has a specific question. I'm like, and I am like right there and in the works. Like I've like just I have my realtor hat on and
hmm
I'm like I can talk to the topic because I'm just
yeah, but
that's my
we were
job.
trying to do a video, which the topic was why is now a good time to buy instead of rent,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
you were having such a difficult time recording something like that,
exactly.
but you know all of the answers, and you've been asked that question 100 times, and you've
Correct.
answered it. So, thoughts?
Thoughts.
What are your thoughts on that?
What I don't why I cannot tell them on camera why is a good time to buy than to rent.
Yeah,
It's just yeah, I don't want to go back to like why my fear
we
is
should. Let's do it. People, this is the good
no.
stuff. So
I
what's it
don't
have to
know,
do with?
but I'm like I feel like we're going in circles because it's just I think yes, I just have to do I guess for myself, I like to to be prepared. Although I mean, I am prepared all the time because I talk about the same topics to all my clients all the time. I don't know why. It's just my brain kind of shuts down when I have to record it. But so,
Does it
do
have
you want to?
anything to do with your childhood?
It's always the childhood.
Right?
It's
Tell us
always the
all about it.
childhood.
These are the juicy bits.
you want to talk? You want to
Sure.
talk about my childhood? Oh
Tell
my
me
gosh.
why. I mean, what do you think it has to do with? Clearly, you speak 3 languages, and you would think that that would make you more confident in general, but for some reason, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I'm poking around here. You tell me.
It is. Yeah, it is because of my childhood and how my parents raised me. So I was never allowed to, and that it's not how I want to say it. So I was a very quiet kid, and I don't know, but I have the feeling that my parents always told me not to talk too much. So it's like I was, I couldn't say everything I wanted to say. I was just always like shut down, and I don't know if I don't remember when I was very young if I was very talkative or I was just a shy child. I just remember not talking a lot.
Mm. And so now speaking feels bad, not like you're doing something
no,
wrong.
no. I mean, I love speaking. I love saying what I have on my mind.
Okay.
I love communicating with people.
All right.
So I don't know. It's just and in addition to that, like growing up in Russia, we didn't have cameras. We never took pictures. I have like 10 pictures from my childhood. Um, it was not natural for me to be in front of cameras, and so maybe that's why. One of the reasons. I mean, you guys grow up like
Who's you guys?
Americans. you specifically.
Gotcha.
You grew up with being filmed and then watching yourself and
Mm-hmm.
then all of like I didn't have I just yeah I didn't have this option to feel more comfortable around cameras, I guess. Does it make sense?
Well, I hear what you're saying, but the part that doesn't make sense to me is okay, so why is it scary?
Because it's a reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look back, like I don't know. I mean,
Like, let me give you an
I don't know why
example
it's
outside of
scary.
like film and recording. Like, you hear a lot of, people that grow up and they don't have something as a child. And, there's always that story. And then typically, it's not unusual that once an individual gets something that they didn't have when they were younger, they like they really, they indulge in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, we never had sweets when I was, so then all of a sudden, they eat candy all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think it's interesting that being filmed and being recorded is something that you can say we didn't grow up with that, and then once you have the ability to do it, it's a scary thing. It's not, y-
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what's.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
Well, you're
was
not the
never the
only one.
person. Yeah, I was never like a person. I mean, some of people just stand in front of a mirror, talk, and watch themselves like acting or like talking, etc. Like I was never like, let me see how I do it. you know?
Gotcha.
It's like the I guess I don't know.
Well,
It's like
next
is it
week we're having a licensed
about the
therapist on,
reflection?
and I'm going to ask him what his thoughts are in regards to individuals that have, because again, you're not the only one. I have other employees that I've encouraged to get out there, promote themselves, do all the things, and they're just absolutely terrified. And they didn't grow up in Russia, and they definitely grew up in a time when I don't know what their family was like, but I know that they have more than 10 pictures, and so yeah, it's interesting. I think some of it has to do with the ego, right? It's like you said, is the possibility that somebody's going to see you and judge you, and maybe even make fun of you, and I don't know. I guess maybe that's what you need for practice. Maybe you need to get ridiculed enough to where you just don't care anymore. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think what's important is, like, for me, the way that I'm able to kind of like compartmentalize it is that I think a lot of people, it's the ego portion of it that I just described. And I think the other part of it is that I think that there's this, like, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a reverse humbling, right? So like, you want to be this type of person that's like, oh, I'm a good person and I'm so humble. So like, I don't want to get out there and,
Mm-hmm.
promote myself and be this person that's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I feel like, okay, I hear you and I see that on the surface, and like maybe that's like a virtuous type of attitude or like way to do things. But then at the same time, you're in a position, or your job is a sales position. You sell. You want people to know you. You want people to like you. You want people to contact you. So aren't you almost like lying to yourself if you're like, hey, listen, here's what I do. Here's my job. I want people to know me. I want people to like me, but I don't want to be on camera because I don't want people to think that I'm like self-promoting.
I don't know. I don't think
No,
it's
I'm
the
just
reason.
I'm telling you, I know it's the reason for some people. I'm not directing this at you.
Okay.
I'm trying to make this a segment about
I don't.
overcoming the fear of excuse me, the overcoming the fear of getting online, or not online, but on camera and doing these things for promotion of your business. And maybe, and again, this is a blanketed statement, this isn't geared towards you, but maybe it's like an imposter syndrome type thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a coach with Gold Star, Renee Rodriguez, who talks a lot about imposter syndrome. And what that is, for those of you that don't know, it's basically when you feel like you're not good enough, or you're faking it almost for the position that you're in. So here you are talking about real estate, promoting yourself, doing all of the things, and in the back of your mind, you're like, should I really be here? Should I really be the one talking this way, promoting it? I'm going to die.
Yeah. What's wrong? You want some water?
Yeah. We'll pick right up here.
Yeah. You have a frog in your.
Imposter syndrome. So like, here you are as a real estate agent or a lender or a business professional. You're like, I know I need to promote myself. I want to find new clients. I want to get out there. I want people to know how good I am at my job, how much I care, so on and so forth. But deep down, maybe you feel like, man, if I get on camera and all of these things, like, am I a fraud? And what Renee says, Renee Rodriguez says that the moment that you feel like you have that kind of imposter syndrome is when you should know you're headed in the right direction, because that means you're right on the verge of like that growth point
Mm-hmm.
where you know all the things. You know everything you need to say. You know you're good at your job. You know you care. You know that anybody would be, you know, you know that anybody that worked with you would be working with one of the top professionals, but you just have a tough time saying it
Yeah.
because you kind of maybe deep down don't believe it. I don't know. But I think that might be a lot of it. Not for you particularly, but for people who are fearful of getting on camera and doing the things and promoting
Mm.
themselves.
That's possible. I think it's really possible that you don't trust yourself then, right? You don't trust your ability to be a good agent. Like I always question myself, did I do enough or did I how was I? Especially when you don't get the feedback from clients. I always go back and look at like how did I perform? What did I do? What I forgot to do or like um because I want to be good. I want to be great. I want people to come back to me and I want to be referred to their friends and family. And if I don't even get a feedback, I do always look back and I'm just, what did I do wrong? Or was I good enough? Was I could it be better? Or you know what
I
I mean?
think one of the things, I hear this line from time to time, and it's a popular one, is if not me, then who? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm getting at, and this is something I've been saying for years, like, I don't know what the statistic is, but regardless of what your business is, right, there's a certain amount of people that are doing or needing whatever service it is that you provide, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you are a insurance agent. And so we'll just use a random number. I mean, if there's 2,000 people in your city that are going to buy a home this month, well, I don't know about you, but I don't know any real estate agents that can close 2,000 transactions.
Correct.
So you're looking for a very small percentage of what is the general local business in your marketplace, regardless of what your job is. And what I don't or what I think sometimes happens, or what I kind of don't understand, is I think there's some sort of like, I don't know, like self-doubt, like we're talking about, like this imposter syndrome where it's like, did I do a good job? Did I do, what could I have done better? And I think the question to ask is, what would someone else have done better than me?
Mm.
Right? So if not me, then who? And so if, we'll go back to my analogy. If there's 2,000 people that are buying a home this month, all of them using, the real estate agents in their local market, are there any agents out there that would do it better than me
Mm-hmm.
or you in this case?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, it's like, no, they're all doing the same thing, right? We're all doing the same thing. We're all really, really good at our jobs. Then the question becomes like, then why shouldn't it be you? Right?
Correct.
And I know that some of the answers are, well, they had a relationship with this person or this or that. But like,
Mm-hmm.
if we're all just talking about the basic foundation of what we do as business professionals, and we know that we are capable of top-notch service and doing all of the things, then like, where does this imposter syndrome come from? And again, I'm sure there's some professionals out there that can look inward and say, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not as good at my job as I probably should be. And so now it's no longer imposter syndrome. Now it really is just like the syndrome of, I'll probably get
Reality.
better. Yeah, it's reality. I could probably get better at what I do. And you know what? There's value in recognizing that, because now
Exactly.
you can say, hey, you know what? Here's the things I'm not doing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, look, I'm doing all of the things, I am really, really good, then what are you missing? Well, maybe you're missing promoting yourself, right?
Correct.
Maybe you're missing networking,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a form of promotion. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thesis and reason that I put this podcast together is because I know a ton of business professionals that are absolutely phenomenal at what they do. But I'm here to tell you from personal experience that just being good at your job is not going to get you business. It's just not. You cannot just be good and sit in your office or,
And nobody knows about you, so.
I mean, there's word of mouth, people
Mm.
refer and all of that. But like, I'm sorry, that only goes so far because I don't know. There's a statistic. I think it's like, and it's something crazy. Like your past clients will forget you after like it's something wild, like 90 days. I mean, don't get me wrong. Asked to recollect who their past real estate agent is, of
Mm-hmm.
course they're going to be able to tell you. But like your buyers or your past, for me, clients as a lender, or if you're an insurance company or a financial advisor, like your clients aren't thinking of you after 90 days. Like you are completely out of sight, out of mind. So, unless somebody's flat out like, hey, Ina, I was looking for a specific service. Who do you know? And even then, you might forget if it's like a year later. You might be like, oh, I had a great experience with this auto mechanic, but shit, I cannot remember his name of the company for
Yeah.
the life of me. I could drive you there, maybe.
And I don't even know if he still works there.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's why we have to reach out to our clients,
Hmm.
even beyond the closing.
Right.
It's just we have to stay in contact so this doesn't happen.
So staying on
Um,
task, how do we get those people that are afraid to come on and do the things? I mean, the whole reason also for the podcast is like, I agree that staring into a camera and doing like a promotion for yourself, it's a whole hell of a lot harder than what we're doing right now.
that's true. I tried. I tried reading the scripts.
How'd it go?
You look like a robot.
Yeah. Well, and that's
It's
the
not
point of this.
natural. And
Right.
you are not walking around the city and talking like a robot, like your scripts just up and down. So,
You mean scripts sound scripted?
it, yes, and I learned my lesson. But um, I don't know if when you do it more, it becomes more natural. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I tried the scripting, and it looks very rehearsed, and yeah, you're just reading up. It's not you, and it's not how you act, and it's not like how clients see you when they see you live.
Yeah. So you were trying to do a promotion or a little promo video about getting in front of people who are currently renting and talking to them about, the benefits of home ownership, basically.
Correct. I wanted to record a video talking about why is it a good time to purchase a property, and
So why is it a good time to purchase a property? Let me know.
Okay, I know. First and foremost, you're gonna build equity for yourself if you have a property you own. When you rent, you're helping out the landlord because he takes your money, what you give him every month, and pays towards his mortgage and not yours, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So as a homeowner, your monthly payments are an investment into your future and not the landlord's. Another reason would be the stability and the freedom. Freedom meaning you can do whatever you want in your home. You can remove walls, you can paint walls black, you can remodel
Do it for your
kitchen, a
kids and your dog.
bathroom. You have, yeah, I mean, if you want to have a pet, you have to ask the landlord if you're allowed to. And if they do allow it, you're going to pay a hefty fee. So in case something happens to the house and your dog destroys things, they have to cover. But if you own a home, you can have whatever pets and how many pets you want
With a fenced-in backyard.
with the fenced-in backyard.
I'm telling you,
And
that's my new promo.
you don't have to ask anyone for permission.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then stability meaning you
Sounding scripted already.
no, like I'm looking at
Stop looking at the script. You already know the answers. while you're figuring out other reasons why you should buy instead of rent, I want to touch more on kids and dogs.
Okay.
You know, the two favorite things that seem to make the world go around: children and pets. And I think that when I really boil it down, you know, I can give a million adult structured reasons as to why it's important to buy instead of rent. But I want to get emotional here, you know, tug on those heartstrings. Do it for your kids, do it for your dog. I'm dead serious. Like, I don't know too many people with no kid and no dogs. And so this is my public service announcement to all of the people who are currently renting that either have children or a dog. Do yourself a favor. Your children want to grow up in a home. You know you want to put them in one. And we want it to be in a place that is, you know, home. Like home, established, your house, their house. And then the dog thing, get that house, get that fenced in backyard. Your dog will love you. Forget about all of the equity. Forget about all of the financial freedom. Forget about all of the, you know, ability to gain and achieve wealth. Do it for your dog. Do it for your kids.
In addition to
Mic drop.
in addition to the kids, I mean, at some point, the kid can inherit your house. Like it's a future for your kid.
No, that makes too much sense. I want to stay right with the emotion here. Let's just focus on pure emotion. Forget about the actual logistical, financial, smart decision part of it. Kids, dogs,
Yeah.
and trampolines.
Yeah. You're not allowed to have a trampoline if you
Yeah.
rent a house.
There it
It's
is.
too much liability.
I can't wait. Someone's gonna call me and they're gonna be like, "I've decided I want to buy a home. I'm gonna do it for my dog." Your video like resonated with me. And I'm gonna be like, "Really?" So like the
And then we have to come on the podcast and talk
I'm gonna be like,
about
so the
that.
hundreds and thousands of dollars of like wealth, tax write-offs, everything that we talked about. Nope, didn't matter. You're right. I feel bad for my dog. Like, perfect.
That's so true.
Let's get you a loan.
But
app.
yeah, with tax benefits, I mean, you can write off your interest on the property taxes, and
Yeah.
you can save potentially $1,000s a year.
I get it. No,
So I guess we
any
can
other reasons
we
why
can keep it
renting is
with
better
the
than buying?
dogs and the kids. I don't want to look, but I have to look.
No, you don't have to look. Predictability in payments, guys. You know, fixed rate
Yes.
mortgages, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. You as a tenant, you do have to renew your contracts every year, and you just never know how much higher your payment will be next year. With fixed rate mortgage payment, your payment stays pretty much the same until you refinance or pay off the mortgage. So.
And that is why you need to call a real estate agent like Ina Kail, who can help you find the home of your dreams.
The perfect home for you, yes.
With a fenced-in backyard and a trampoline for your kids.
And I'll throw in the dog if you don't have anyone.
You're going to throw in the dog?
With
Dogs
the
are
purchase.
expensive. Dogs are expensive. Better watch it.
That could be a closing gift.
I'm sorry. That's a terrible closing gift. That is an absolute terrible closing
If
gift.
they're dreaming of a house and a dog,
You
why
don't buy
can't they
someone
give
a dog. That's
dog?
insane. That's insane. I don't know if we should cut that out or if
You
we should
can-
leave it 'cause it's so crazy.
Hey, maybe I'll have a lot of calls, people wanting a dog.